went with mental health awareness. Is that crazy or what?
Hey,
Oh, awesome.
there's nothing crazy about that at all. Sorry, I'll put it away.
First, because I do not feel at all prepared. I am just a nervous wreck. I've never been this nervous about one of these speeches.
Really?
Yeah.
What I'm nervous about is I don't know if I'm going to go the full 7 minutes.
Same. That's what I was freaking out about.
I tested it a couple hours ago, and I was like at 5.5 or something.
Oh, and I went over. When I rewrote, though, I'm pretty sure I didn't go over. So I changed it after my
first. That's because my first two, I went way over, so.
Striking a balance.
Yeah. Who wants to go first? Should I go first?
Yeah, you go first. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll time you.
Okay.
Ready? Go.
Hang on. First, I got to find it.
Okay.
Oh, there it is. Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. In May 1977, George Lucas introduced us to his telling of the oldest storyline in the world, good versus evil, with his first Star Wars film. When the movie opened, my parents took my sister and I to go see it when we lived in Salt Lake. There I was, a 2-year-old little boy, sitting in my first movie theater, about to be introduced to a lifelong obsession. Like I said, I was 2, so I don't recall anything of the experience, but my mother used to love to tell me how big my eyes were during that famous cantina scene with all of the different aliens running around. When we bought our first VCR, we were each allowed to purchase one movie with it. Of course, I chose Star Wars, and I think I broke the record for how quickly the tape was worn out. And my parents and sister were very sick of the movie also. I still remember 1983 going to see Return of the Jedi with my cousins and a brave uncle who had volunteered to take us one Saturday. I'll never forget how the film broke just as Darth Vader descended down the ramp at the beginning of the movie. And that's actually a fun story that we still talk about today. There have been a lot of movie franchises over the years, but there are only 2 that have truly had an impact on my life. The first, of course, is the Star Wars franchise, with its 7 saga movies, the one standalone, with 2 other movies coming out in the next year, in addition to the 2 cartoon series, a Christmas special that everybody wishes would go away, and also the announcement of a live-action TV series coming in the next year or so, as well as at least another decade worth of movies. And this will ensure that the Star Wars saga will go on for many years to come. The second franchise that meant a lot to me have been the James Bond movies, and that's because that's something that my father and I did quite frequently as I grew up and as I became an adult. While the Bond films are very deserving of an honorable mention for the greatest franchise ever, unfortunately, they're just not family friendly, so I can't declare it the ultimate franchise. But let's take a look at it. There have been 24 movies. Number 25 is currently in pre-production, which has spanned 6 actors and over 50 years. Like Star Wars, it survived the test of time, and audiences keep coming back. From 1977 through 1983, Lucas produced the original trilogy, and after 1983's Return of the Jedi, he told everyone that that would be the final movie. The story of the Skywalkers had been complete. Around 1997, Mr. Lucas announced that he was ready to make a prequel trilogy to explain how Darth Vader became the big bad guy. Another 3 movies were made, and after 2005's Revenge of the Sith, Lucas once again exclaimed that the Skywalker saga was complete. The best thing that has happened to the Star Wars franchise was in 2012 when Mr. Lucas sold Lucasfilm to Disney, who immediately began working on movies once again, including the production of another trilogy, which this time would finally actually finish the Skywalker saga. Famed Star Wars superfan director J.J. Abrams was hired to direct the first of the movies, and in 2005, myself and my generation were transported from a bunch of 40-year-olds to a bunch of 8-year-olds as we took in the first of the trailers for the new movie. Star Wars was not only back to how we remembered it, but it was here to stay. It had become the family movie franchise that parents could take their children to, just as their parents once took them. Once it was released, Star Wars The Force Awakens became a huge hit. According to the website boxofficemojo.com, the first two Disney-produced Star Wars films rank in the top 25 of all-time box office financial success. The reason I say that the best thing for the franchise is that Disney bought them is it has brought forth new, fresh ideas and new imagination, along with a new generation of fans like me, to tell the stories to fill in the gaps of that galaxy far, far away. A critical error that Lucas had made with his prequel trilogy was that he had become too dependent on special effects at the expense of the stories that were being told. One of the first decisions that J.J. Abrams made was to shoot The Force Awakens on actual film, just as the original movies had been made. He did his best to set the tone for the new Disney-era movies of making them match up with the original movies as much as possible. And we see that with the first standalone movie in Rogue One, and we hopefully will see that in a couple of weeks with the newest movie. As Star Wars continues to grow in popularity, it has become more mature with the storytelling while staying true to the original good versus evil. I think it's amazing to watch my nieces and nephews grow up with new Star Wars stories to experience so they can experience a shared childhood memory with their parents from different generations. So what am I at, like 5.5 minutes?
Yes.
Man, got to work on that.
What can we add?
What can we add?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what I've been trying to figure out. Because I'm worried it's too... I don't know. I like my hook at the beginning of it.
Uh-huh.
Mhm. That's perfect.
Yeah.
It's just going through it. I don't know. I kind of feel like when I talk about Bond that I'm going off onto a tangent and getting away from the topic.
When you talk about what?
When I talk about the Bond movies. Just that for me, they were a close second, but if they just...
Yeah, no, I think that fits fine.
Okay.
What you do is you explain why it's not your first and why Star Wars is really what has kept you all these years.
Mm-hmm.
And that gives value to the Star Wars, your admiration of the Star Wars series. But what you need in the end is to convince them or invite them, your hearers, to view them themselves. And maybe even say you still have time to see all of them before the next new one.
Yeah.
Don't tell my wife that's the plan.
I would like to do that. I don't know if my husband and I actually have time to do that, but that would really be fun. And my grandson, man, he knows all of them. He's 10 and he knows all of them. He loves them.
They're great.
It's for all ages.
Yep. Yeah, and that's
the fact that you bring in your nieces and nephews shows how broad the spectrum is for viewing and everything. But I think you just need to add in the end to invite people to Diz and that kind of thing.
I'll bring in a thing about May 4th, which is Star Wars Day.
Oh, yeah.
Take the whole day and just watch Star Wars movies.
Yeah. And then something else you can talk about, I don't know if you guys have it, whenever there was a new Star Wars movie coming out, the local theaters would have the Star Wars trilogies playing like through the day, right?
Really?
Yeah. Did you guys have that?
The most we have is there's a local theater that's doing back-to-back with the last movie, The Force Awakens, and then with the new one.
So one of my for Pathways, one of our missionaries, she wasn't there for a day and she was always there. And it turns out she was at the movie theaters watching all of the Star Wars all day long.
You got to have priorities.
Right? You can put in your story if you want.
You've got to have priorities in life. No, when I was actually working, I would take May 4th off every year, and people knew why.
It's good that you have something good and wholesome to unwind with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you need balance in your life.
Yeah.
And this is something that we've been able to rely on all these years.
Yep.
The only complaint I would have is Leia's lack of clothing in the
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi. And I had forgotten that. I had forgotten all about that because all I remember really are the great parts.
Yeah. Well, I still want, there's been a long rumor that the original theatrical version is going to be released on Blu-ray. And I'm still waiting for that because I want to show my nieces and nephews what it really looks, what the movie really looks like.
Yeah. Well, and we were watching the Return of the Jedi recently, and then there's Anakin, but it's him young instead of old.
Yeah.
You know, in spirit. And I thought, oh wait, they've changed it. They've edited it.
Yeah, they've made a lot of changes. Some I liked, and others I did not like at all.
Yeah. Well, you're not so crazy about the Ewok Christmas, huh?
No, not the Ewok Christmas. There was an actual 1978 or 79 Star Wars holiday special.
Really?
It's hidden. George Lucas has done his best to wipe it from existence. And it's absolutely horrendous. It has B. Arthur in it and a couple of other, I think Edward Rooney was in it. And it's just weird.
Wow.
There's 30 minutes of Chewbacca's wife talking and there's no subtitles.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd bury that one too.
Yeah.
Wolfie.
Yeah, even committed fans like me just want it buried and gone away.
Right. Okay. Dee?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude. My boss is texting me. I'll have to leave in about 15 minutes. Is that okay?
Yeah. Yeah, why don't you go ahead and go?
I'm going to the restroom while you get set up to do yours.
Okay.
So are you going to, did you want to run through it again and add some things, or do you need time to write it and add it in there?
No, I'll do it offline.
Okay.
We're doing it again next week anyway.
What's that?
We're running back through these again next week anyway. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I don't feel comfortable. I'm so nervous. I think it's because my anxiety's high again.
Mm.
When I take time off for, like I had all my work done and everything, but I didn't come to the computer at all over the weekend because family were here.
Yeah.
And that just throws me off and stresses me out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to come back to like yams. Like, this isn't fun. And we had no internet up in Big Bear.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay. I've read mine so many times and I've never remembered to record it. No idea how long it is. I totally forgot how long it even had to be. It wasn't even on my mind, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's...
I actually we have our tickets to see Star Wars. I just put it in my planner.
Oh, cool.
December 14th.
Lucky. I was negligent in getting mine. I got busy with work and school and forgot.
No.
So we're stuck on December 15th, like 10 a.m.
Oh, There won't be anyone there at 10 a.m., right?
I hope not. I think that's the kids' last day before summer break. So
yeah.
Yeah. But still, it'll be the first one in over a decade that I haven't done the midnight showing for.
I remember you saying this. Yes.
So
I
I'm
know.
bummed about that.
Yeah.
But I'm also old enough to where I'm not going to complain that I have to try to stay up that late.
That is true. We did this last time too. There's a really nice theater in our town that we almost never go to because it's ridiculously expensive for a movie theater.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the Star Wars movies, we will be there.
There you go.
Right? The Star Wars or the Guardians of the Galaxy or the Avengers, anything like
Any
that.
of the Marvel ones?
Yeah, any of the Marvel ones too.
That's actually what we spent Thanksgiving doing.
What?
We sat down and we watched all the Marvel ones in order.
Oh.
Except for, I think we missed Doctor Strange and Ant-Man. I think those were the only two we didn't do.
Ant-Man is so underrated. It is awesome.
Yeah.
It was on the other day, and I didn't really pay attention to it. So
it's pretty funny.
No, it took us most of the weekend to work all the way through, but we started with the first Iron Man and just went.
I think Iron Man's my favorite.
I like the second Iron Man the best. That's my absolute favorite out of all the movies.
I like comic book type stuff. But some of it just gets a little. I'm probably the least interested in Thor. Doctor Strange was pretty good.
Yeah.
But we love Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, those are my wife's
favorite.
favorite.
My husband loves Guardians.
Yeah.
He likes the music.
So does my wife.
We have the playlist.
Yep. So do we.
Yeah. Oh, USC actually made their halftime show for the UCLA USC game was from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, cool.
Song, and then they made the shapes with their bodies of like rock and yeah. Okay.
Fun.
Ready?
Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Ready? Go.
Go.
Loyal, protective, and always happy to see you. The dog has been a human companion for more than 18,000 years, making it one of the first domesticated animals in history. Scientists have proof that dogs make us laugh more than cats, keep us more active than the average human companion, and over the past few years, many cardiologists and psychologists have discovered that owning a dog can decrease the risk of contracting many forms of heart disease and more psychological diseases such as depression. Clearly, there are numerous reasons why one should make the wise decision to adopt a dog. The first and foremost reason is that one gets to save a life by choosing to adopt a dog. My husband and I adopted our dog 2 months ago, and it is the second greatest decision we have ever made, next to our decision to get married. In the United States of America alone, more than 2 million dogs are available for adoption on a yearly basis. The main reason why so many dogs are available for adoption is that there are many individuals who give up their pets to animal shelters, and the number of individuals who go to shelters to adopt dogs is small. Unfortunately, many animal shelters do not have enough space to house the pets comfortably, and sometimes do not even have enough resources to take care of the pets. These reasons sometimes push animal shelters into eliminating some of the pets that have not been adopted. If more good people adopted dogs, fewer animals would be eliminated or tortured by those who adopt them for unacceptable reasons. Another important reason why one should adopt a dog for a pet is that pets have been shown to improve the mood of their owners. Ever feeling anxious or stressed out? I know I do. Owning a dog is known as one of the best mood enhancers around, and doctors have even been known to prescribe patients a form of medication that involves the patient going out and buying a dog, saying that having a dog as a pet should be greatly considered before looking towards prescription drugs to try to improve your health. People who own dogs laugh more, according to a study published in the Journal Society in Animals. Researchers asked people who own dogs, cats, both, or neither to record how often they laughed over the course of a day. Those who own just dogs and both dogs and cats recorded laughing more than the other two groups. I know this is true for my husband and I. Our puppy makes us laugh out loud every single day. Psychologists say that petting your pet can lead to an increase in your serotonin levels, a chemical associated with well-being, and it also decreases your level of cortisol, a hormone associated with stress. Seeing how a dog can decrease stress levels, they essentially become one of the best tools to help fight depression. Instead of feeling lonely and moody, one should adopt a dog because the dog will give the owner unconditional love and therefore help one to psychologically feel better. I have lived with depression since I was a little girl, and I have never felt happier since getting our puppy Layla. Dogs are also great when it comes to improving the physical health of their owners. Physicians say that humans should get some sort of exercise for at least 30 minutes a day. People with dogs feel inclined to take their pet for a walk, which allows those people to get outside and walk at some point and time every day. Researchers at Michigan State University reported in 2011 that 60% of dog owners who took their pets for regular walks met federal criteria for regular, moderate, or vigorous exercise. Elderly people who walk their dogs actually have a more regular exercise routine and are more physically fit than the elderly who walk with other people, according to a study published in the Journal of Psychological Nursing and Mental Health Services in 2010. Walking your dog benefits both the owner and the dog as well, providing a healthy lifestyle for the whole family. Scientists have shown that spending time with one's dog can significantly lower one's blood pressure and lower one's cholesterol levels. Activities such as walking the dog or even grooming the pet provide the owner with physical activity, which in turn can help the individual strengthen the heart and bone tissues. As we grow older, it is crucial that we keep a strong social life because it allows us as people to stay approachable so that we can maintain relationships. In the UK, a team of scientists at the universities of Liverpool and Bristol found that UK residents with dogs were more likely to encounter other dogs and dog owners than people who did not own a dog. This makes sense, since dog owners are more likely to head out of the house on walks and run into other dog owners on their own strolls. Having a dog is always a great conversation starter with people walking their dog outside. People that own dogs are almost always willing to talk about their pet to anyone who wants to approach them. Having a dog makes you feel special compared to other people because everyone's pet is different. This can end up resulting in some fun conversations that you and another owner can relate to. Whenever my puppy Layla and I go for a walk, her and I almost always make lots of new friends, both people and puppies alike. The opposition may say that you should not get a dog because they require large amounts of attention, you're adopting because the puppy is cute, you are on a tight budget, or you do not have the patience. I completely agree with all of these reasons. You have to be ready to embrace this living being into your life and give him or her the best life you possibly can. Make sure that you are ready first, and once you know you can provide the life that dog deserves, I say go for it. If owning a dog even has the possibility of decreasing the chance of having some major cardiac disease or potential to reduce the risk of depression, why would you not go out and get one? They are a blessing that make people happier and healthier, and I encourage those ready and desirous to act now. Your new best friend is waiting for you today. 6 minutes and 35 seconds.
Yep. Good job.
What do you guys, are you going to go get another dog?
Yep. I'm going right now.
And this is my visual aid. Ta-da!
Oh, hello, Layla. You cute puppy.
She's mad. I just woke her up. Okay, lay back down.
I told you when mine's mad. She's off in the other room pouting right now.
Oh. Mine's laying down.
They're such
in a little ball on the floor.
So how does that work? Like if I was recording too, mine said like 6 minutes and 35 seconds. Should I can talk a little slower.
Yeah, you could go a little slower, and I think that would make up the 30 seconds.
I think so. It's not too much. But how does that work? Like, do we have to be like 7 minutes on?
No, I think there's like a 10, 20-second grace period, I think, either way.
Okay, cool. I was wondering that.
I'm worried I'll go.
No, I thought it was really good. I love dogs, and so, you know, I'm
You
on.
guys are the easiest audience, guys. You're both dog lovers. I don't.
Okay.
Okay, go for it. Want me to record you, Diana?
What's that?
Want me to record you? I mean, not record you. Time you.
Yes, please time me.
Okay.
Does that make it weird? Okay, that helps me to see my paper better. Ready?
Uh-huh.
Hello, fellow students. I hope you're enjoying success this semester. Every semester has its challenges. In the beginning, we want to have that balance, you know, make sure the classes go well together. And then we have to juggle our responsibilities between our studies and family and work and all of those things. And that can be a challenge. And then in the end, we want to make a final push to maintain our grade or to improve our grade. And that can really pour on the pressure. So these demands can really cause anxiety or even depression for anyone. And for people already struggling with mental health issues, they can really be overwhelming. University Business Journal reports that there was a study done at the University of Michigan that revealed nearly 1/3 of students are dealing with mental health issues at any given time. 1/3, that's 1 in 3. That seems a lot to me. Helen Newell is the president of the Winona, Minnesota affiliate of the National Alliance on Mental Illness. That's normally called NAMI, National Alliance on Mental Illness. She wrote a letter to the editor of the Winona Post explaining that 1 in 5 adults experience a mental illness in any given year. And she also explains that mental illness is really a medical condition. A friend whose mother was experiencing a lot of anxiety. And she said her mother just refused to address it, probably because of the stigma associated with it and the bad rap that medicines, anxiety medicines get. But I asked her, I said, but if she had high blood pressure or diabetes, she'd go to the doctor. So why not? You know, for me, it was just always a no-brainer that this is medical. So here we have the numbers: 1 in 3 students, 1 in 5 adults. So most of us are likely to experience this or know someone who is experiencing this. The University Business article also points out that while there's more discussion and awareness, that there's not really any more action concerning helping people. But we're people of action, aren't we? President Monson has taught, quote, "The world is in need of your help. There are feet to steady, hands to grasp, minds to encourage, hearts to inspire, and souls to save." And speaking specifically about mental illness, Elder Holland said, opened his talk like a broken vessel. Quote, "The Apostle Peter wrote that disciples of Jesus Christ are to have compassion one of another." I think we all have a little worry about how we could possibly help someone who has mental health issues. I have had an experience with this. My sister-in-law is my husband's twin. She was mentally disabled at birth from oxygen deprivation. We knew that she had an intellectual disability. And after the death of their mother, she came into our care 11 years ago. So we've been her guardian for 11 years. And in the beginning, it was very difficult. We just tried everything. And there was so much stress in our home for her, for us. It was really very difficult. But a few years later, she was taken to the psychiatrist by her caregivers after we had discovered that she could not live with us anymore. And she was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, which is a very difficult diagnosis. And so as we became aware of what this meant, we learned why those behaviors were so bad, and what they were caused by. And we also developed a new way of communicating with her. Came to understand that things that are normal, like family gatherings or travel, which are things that she really wants to be included in, are things that are really far beyond her. And so it was a kindness to exclude her from those things. It was a really hard decision. While I was, because I was the main caregiver, while I was working with Sis, one of the things that I used was a visualization of after this life. I am going to have to face her, and the Lord took care of this responsibility. And I know that then she will be perfect. And I want her to be able to thank me rather than condemn me. And I know I came to a realization that it is because she's far, far ahead of me in her eternal progression, and to care for her in all its difficulty is a blessing for my eternal progression. And we have a really wonderful relationship now. We just are family. We are not the caregivers. We are not the rule makers. We are just the family, and all we do is have fun with her, and it is wonderful. Mental health awareness can help us to serve others better. The things that we know we need to do. And it can also help us to eradicate the stigma of mental illness. Also help us to take better care of ourselves, because if 1 in 5 adults are going to experience this in any given year, we need to know the signs to seek help early. So how can you become aware? Go to lds.org. Click on Families and Individuals on the blue bar, then choose Hope and Help. There'll be a list, and you'll see emotional and mental health. There's a wealth of information there, and that's a good start. That's a good place to start, and it's a really, really small thing to do. But what more can you do? You can write a paper about it. If there's something you need to research to write a paper about, do it, and you'll be more aware, and you will help other people be more aware. You can give a speech about it if you have to do a speech. And you can also hold the hand of a friend or give someone a hug. I have a friend whose husband is well into Alzheimer's, and he's forgetting everything, including how to dress or even get in the car. And she's very isolated. She can't go anywhere. So I just call her and we talk, and that's all she really needs from me. So we know that Christ suffered for our sins and our sicknesses. And so I've learned by relying on the atonement that I can receive forgiveness, and I feel the love of the Lord. I've also found strength and insights in how to care for my sister-in-law and face other challenges in my life. And I believe we do our best work. Thank you.
Very good.
How many minutes?
So it was 7 minutes and 45 seconds.
Okay.
That's not too bad.
Less about Sis.
That's really good.
Yeah. That was really good. I don't know why you were nervous.
Yeah, it was really well done.
Right? Thank you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's something very close to my heart, and caring for Sis is what has helped me to life where, my life is rather free now. I don't have the stress of caring for her. I make sure that her caregivers are right on top of it, but she really needed more medical care than we could give. So she's in a facility, and they do a great job with her, but we still make sure that they're on top of things.
Yeah.
But it's far less stressful than it was. And when I took Pathways, I was going to just do, university studies. I just wanted to be able to study. And it was clear to me that helping others, because I have this experience, that I have a wealth of knowledge and a way to help others. And I want to support families that have these difficulties. we have grandkids that have difficulties, and I'd like to be able to help those families find the resources and find respite, because respite was non-existent for us. It was just
Yeah.
really, it was just, I just knew I needed to do it. So that's why I'm doing marriage and family. I'll get into social work somehow in there.
Well, and listening to your talk, it brought me back because after my dad died, I took care of my mother for the first year or so, and she had epilepsy and I think early stages of dementia. And we were kind of in the same situation where all of a sudden we were taking care of her day to day. And unfortunately, my wife has serious health issues also. And so it moved to my sister. But, when you were sitting there describing that process, it brought everything right back that we had gone through also.
Well, and what happened when I was caring for my mother-in-law and Ellen at the same time, they were living in our home. And I did not realize that my mother-in-law had dementia.
Yeah.
And luckily, our doctor